Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm reading today for Libra energy going forward into August. So this may resonate if you generally resonate with Libra placements. So you don't have to be Libra Sun, it could be Libra Moon, Libra Venus, hi, Team Libra Venus, Libra Mars, whatever. Just if Libra energy is interesting to you, it may resonate, it may not. If it doesn't resonate, you can absolutely go ahead and check out your other placements. I'm reading for energy, not a specific individual. So it may affect you, it may not. It depends how strong Libra is in your chart at the moment. You seem to be having a revelation soon, Libra. If things have been very unclear, I'm hearing muddied waters. Like here you've got, I mean, you're the Queen of Swords, right? You like to work in facts. You've got literally you've got a song about honesty, and then you've got Beautiful Liar. So it's like honesty, truth, lies, what is the truth of this situation, and like with this confusion that perhaps you've been feeling or that you will feel at some point is going to clear, because right underneath this on the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords. So good news, if you don't feel like you've got clarity, you will do soon. Absolutely trust your intuition. You for months and months and months, Libra, I don't know if a lot of you are Libra Scorpio cusp, but you keep coming through with the High Priestess. It fell out of the deck for you, as did the Four of Swords, and it was just kind of like looking at me. So this High Priestess energy you have, it's almost like, can you see on the Queen of Swords, now this is your card, I've pulled it out intentionally because I was kind of using it to channel Libra energy. So don't worry about it being a queen. If you are coming to this reading and you don't represent as female, it's okay. It's energy, not gender. Just try and think of it as kind of like what the card represents, and see if that applies to you or not. But the Queen of Swords does represent Libra energy, and you can see that like someone's taking a hand here, but she can't actually see. There's like, we don't know what this is. It's like off camera, so we don't know what the Queen of Swords is looking at. So it's almost like when you're facing the unknown, it's almost like she's going to stand up and step into the unknown with her sword of truth, right? She's not kind of wielding it around. She's not kind of being harsh with her words. She's not kind of, she's controlled, but she has it ready, right? And the sword represents her intelligence, her communication skills, and clarity and truth. Like I say here, the Ace of Swords here means like a revelation, a piece of news that makes everything clear. It's kind of, it's like intelligence is the way it's coming through. So it's almost like we're facing this, right? We're facing this confusion. We don't really know which one of these options is the correct option. But the High Priestess is really saying, trust your intuition. Now you've got a card somewhere on the table, protect your dreams. Someone else had this thing about protecting the dreams. I feel like it may have been Cancer, but I forget the readings and I get them mixed up, so you would have to go and check and look for that. I'm sorry that I can't be any clearer. If anyone does know, feels like helping out and wants to leave a comment, that would be great. But again, trust your intuition to know which readings to watch or which ones to leave. But yeah, it was coming through with, because it was protect your dreams, it made me think of this dream that I had last night that was very, very vivid and kind of upsetting. And now protect your dreams, it's almost like keep your dreams to yourself. Like you're going to get information in dreams, like maybe spirit guides are around you, possibly like a mother or grandmother figure. This is coming through as my mother, and I'll kind of explain that as well in a bit. But this kind of maternal guide that's coming through for you seems to be sending you messages through dreams, possibly in August. So pay attention, don't take them literally, but there could be something coming through. Now, because I had that last night before doing your reading, I do feel like I'm supposed to share a little bit of the dream, not too many details because I am going to keep some of them to myself, but kind of it prompted me to think of my own dream. And with all this stuff coming through about kind of like being confused, in my dream I was literally kept in the dark. So I was asked to sit in the stairwell of some cellar steps, and the door was closed on me and it was pitch black. But I kind of, my eyes glanced to this card, which is coming through as my mum. My mum's on the other side and she was Scorpio. High Priestess is Scorpio. So again, it could just be some strong spirit guide for you, maybe a Scorpio for you who's passed over. It doesn't have to be a maternal figure who's passed over for you, who's acting as a very, very strong guide, right? Or it could even be your own inner high priestess, right? Your own inner kind of Pluto placement. Everybody has a Pluto placement. Pluto rules Scorpio. Have a look at what Pluto's doing in your chart at the moment. It's currently going retrograde in Capricorn, but it could be in a different house for you personally. So just pay attention under that as well. Hell, so Pluto, Pluto back at it again. Okay, so yeah, I literally kept in my dark, but I glanced at my mum, right? This is my mum to me today. It doesn't have to be that for you. And I heard, in the dark we can see. And I was like, it felt comfortable. So even though in my dream, I was like, I was aware that I was purposefully being almost like ostracized from a group, kept, like literally kept in the dark. With this sentence that I heard, in the dark we can see, it's almost like, it's something like, because you work in facts and truth and honesty and clarity, this is why you carry the sword. It's like when other people are acting shady and you don't have those facts, because you've got such an analytical mind, like such a logical way of thinking, it's almost like you can fill in the gaps very, very, it's almost like an educated guess, right? So when there's gaps, when there's information that you're not being given, your mind stretches in the same way that the high priestess can stretch out into the ethers and get esoteric knowledge that perhaps she's not been told. So the thing about the high priestess is she knows, right? She's secretive, she knows secrets, she has divine truth. And this is what I feel is, it's almost like, if people are trying to keep you in the dark, they're actually doing you a favor, because they're teaching you to stretch your, it's almost like predictive skills or logical reasoning. It's almost like Sherlock Holmes. They show me Sherlock Holmes, Benedict Cumberbatch, that version, and a book. I have read a huge amount of, probably all of the Sherlock Holmes books and stories. I would imagine I've probably read them all. But yeah, it's kind of like elementary, my dear Watson. That's the one. Thank you. That was given to me by my guides. Again, trust your guides at the moment. Even if your guides are a projection of something that's in you, right? Which could be happening to me, but this is the way my brain processes this. So it's like, and that's not a bad thing. Sorry, I'm hearing things. Yeah, elementary, my dear Watson. It's kind of like when all other, when you've kind of gone through, like Judge Judy, they show me Judge Judy as well. Like when you've kind of like logically sifted through all the evidence, there's only one conclusion that makes sense, right? And you know, however illogical it seems, if you kind of like vetoed all the other options, then that has to be the option. It's something like that. So it's kind of, yes, it's high priestess, but it's doing this high priestess energy in your own analytical way. It's kind of like almost like the odd one out, something like that. It's like, if I exclude all these options, I get to the right option. Cluedo, they're showing me Cluedo. Okay, they're just trying to help me explain it to you. So do you know how the game Cluedo works? It's called Clue in America. I don't know why they missed the O. I don't know why we add the O. But Cluedo, so what you do with Cluedo is you get your own cards and other people have cards, and you get like a list of all the cards, and so you can tick, you have to guess which cards are in the packet, right? So logically the cards that are in the packet nobody has, so you have to like go through, and first of all you tick off all your cards because you know your cards aren't in the packet, and then you can ask somebody else if they have a card, and they have to tell you the truth, and then based on what they say you can tick more boxes off till you've eliminated enough that you can make an educated guess, yeah. They're telling me educating Rita, which I know came out in the last set of readings. I'm actually just going to pause and look up who that was. I can't see it. It's really annoying. I hate when that happens. I'm sure Educating Rita came through for someone recently. If anyone remembers, put it down in the comments below so other people can check that out. If you don't mind, I'm not telling anyone to do anything. What I did notice though is there was a previous Scorpio reading that said keep your secrets to yourself. Again, it's funny with all this Scorpio energy here. So yeah, after this, in the dark we can see, it was kind of making me think of like hermit mode. Sorry, that kind of like took me on a segue, the whole Educating Rita thing. Someone could be called Rita. Yeah, this whole in the dark we can see vibe, it kind of makes me think of the Hermit card. So the Hermit card is like we go within, right? We look for answers within ourselves. And it was also making me think of last year I went into one of those sensory deprivation tanks where it's like pitch black, like completely black, like no sound, and you're in there for an hour, and it's one of those kind of like experiences where you're kind of trapped in a box with your own thoughts, and you kind of have to figure stuff out. Sometimes people hallucinate in there. All I hallucinated was that the light came back on. Inside it, it kind of had this blue light. And my mind was like, hey, the light's back on, and it wasn't. It was really weird. But like other people have told me they've seen all sorts of like dragons and mad stuff, so like proper hallucinations. But yeah, I was told as well, so I heard, like how I heard in the dark we can see, I heard our intuition reaches, right? So in the darkness, when we don't have answers, our intuition reaches, and I love that as a phrase. It also made me think of Amazing Grace. I was blind, but now I see, which was, I think, in Leo's reading. Yeah, and you're underlying as well. You've got things like, so here together, realization and crystal. And I was hearing crystal clear. Let me make myself perfectly clear, right? Crystal clear. Realization is crystal clear now. It's almost like I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. I'm not going to remember to put every single song that I say in the description box, but do check it out if needs be. Most of your songs are going to be down there. You also had this thing about passage and realization. Now, it did come through with back passage. And again, this idea of, I'm going to come into it in a minute, it's almost being strategic and kind of like secretive. It was like take the back way, like don't go in the front entrance, go in the side door, something like that. It's like don't walk the main street, take the side streets. If you've got to be strategic, it's not necessarily sneaky. The Seven of Swords hasn't come out at all, so it's not like sneakiness, like underhand, because you are a truthful person, right? I think you prefer to be honest. Depends on your full placements. Check out your Mercury sign and things like that. Somebody could have like Mercury Gemini, but it's kind of like yeah, it's coming through like strategy. As I thought strategy actually, and I originally looked at the bottom of the deck, the King of Swords was there, and he's the most strategic player in the tarot. So yeah, strategy. Take this. It's like not everybody doesn't need to know your business, right? So you can take the quieter route, something like that. But also back passage. I heard as well with this clarity, it's like no beating around the bush. So it could be something about making your sexual needs clear, like what you do and don't tolerate in the bedroom. But again, sometimes my guides get me to say stuff through euphemism, and I only realised later how sexual it sounded. I do have a bit of a dirty brain, but I've said it now, we're going to move that aside. So again, this kind of like, it's like a pathway opening up, because again, you have like new beginnings here. This was the first card that fell out of any of the decks. So yeah, it's kind of like this, it's almost like a gateway in some sort of way. So you know how like this idea of like a Stonehenge, or like henges in general, this idea of kind of having, because you seem to be having some kind of like outdoor experience towards the end of the month, towards the end of the reading. So it could be some kind of like Glastonbury or something, like a music festival, but it's near Stonehenge, which is having this almost like mental awakening, this mental clarity. Yeah, it could be something like that. Again, it comes with crystal. It's like crystal clear, and I knew crystal was going to come out for you. It's on the underlying, it's not in the reading, but it came out, I feel like it came out in the pre-shuffle for somebody else this week, and I remember being like, that's Libra, and then it's here in your reading. Because I associate like diamonds with clarity and clarity with crystals. and all that is with Libra. Okay. Sorry, I'm waffling a little bit. You've got quite a lot to say, and this is the thing. I think if you felt a little bit maybe overwhelmed, you know, a lot of thoughts, maybe a lot of stuff going on. You do have something about work, rest, and play, right? So it could be that you know, mentally you're preoccupied with work, you know, your friends are inviting you out, and, you know, you've got other, like, household responsibilities. It's kind of like you feel like you're juggling. You've actually got 3 cards, I think, about balance, which in a Libra reading is very, very appropriate because you are the sign of the scales, right? Yeah, you've got, where is it? Balance. I swear you've got another one about balance somewhere. We'll find out when we do the reading, like the spread itself. Yeah, I did hear very similar to Cancer. So you had this Cancerian energy coming through, and it was the highest good of everyone involved. So Cancer had this thing about good intentions, but they also had this snake in their reading, and I was like, but you seem to be coming through almost like the way it was presented to me is Libra, although you're an air sign, and although you're all this swords energy and intellect and thoughts and logic, and you can be quite cold. Traditionally, the Queen of Swords is a widow, so you don't have to be a widow, but it's kind of like someone who's learned some tough lessons in life, and they know how to have that, you know, they know how to have the boundaries up, they know how to put rules in place to protect their energy. So it's kind of like a bit Ice Queen, but it's Ice Queen for a reason, because she's been through something, which is really funny. Again, like, you've got all this balancing stuff. You also had Professional Widow by Tori Amos, and it made me laugh because, like I say, it seems like you've got an event coming through at the end of the reading, and I was hearing, it's gonna be big, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. I want to bring you close to my, it's that song, I want to bring you close to my lips, yeah. And I didn't remember who it was by, and yeah, I didn't remember the title, I didn't remember who it was by, so I just like googled the lyrics, you know, want to bring you close to my lips, it's gonna be big. And I was like, oh, it's Tori Amos, how strange, because I kind of remember her from Cornflake Girl, which is a bit of a vibe, and then this is kind of clubby. But yeah, it did make me laugh because it was like Professional Widow. I was like, that is just, it's Libra. Libra, you're all over this reading. All this balance, Professional Widow. Oh, it's so funny. Clarity, truth, honor, integrity. All that good stuff that comes with Libra. It's just such a Libra reading. And again, I don't set anything up. I make it clear. So if I pull something out intentionally, like this card, I will make it clear. Like I say, this card fell out. This card kind of like poked out and was looking at me, so I pulled it. This was on the bottom of the deck. This was the bottom of the deck. This was the bottom of the deck. These cards fell out. The reading itself is like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 decks, I think. And I shuffle them 3 times each. Whatever cards come out, I put together, reshuffle, and that gives me the order of the reading and the spread. So I've not made anything up. You could say that the stuff that comes through psychically, intuitively is made up, but how you want to take my reading, I don't have control over that. I'm telling you my truth. And that seems to be the thing. It's like, all I can do is tell you my truth. And if you've got a different version of events, or if you see things differently, I can't control that, right? All I can do is have agency over my own conception of the world. Which seems like a very Queen of Swords thing as well. So yeah, you were coming through, sorry, that was a bit loud. You were coming through like justice, negotiations. Originally, when I kind of asked for something for your reading a couple of days ago, I got the Justice card, which is one of your cards again, right? Which can talk about legalities. Queen of Swords can be like a legal advisor, so something like that. But like I say, this you're very, very logical, very this is the law, this is the truth. But you're coming through with all this Queen of Cups energy. It was coming through as Cancerian. It could also be Scorpio, because you've got a fair bit of Scorpio here. But it was like, the way I was hearing it was Libra feels as much, or Libra has as much emotional capacity as the Queen of Cups. It was almost like how I was saying that Virgo is an honorary air sign, right? Virgo's an earth sign, but because they're so analytical, it's almost like they've got that kind of Aquarian or air sign energy to them, because they think so much. And so even though you're an air sign, right, so you're all about thoughts, you're ruled by thoughts, you because you're ruled by Venus, who is the goddess of love, it's like you're an honorary water sign, right? You're an honorary cups queen. So yeah, the way it was presented to me was like, again, you've got this like deep dive, right? You've got this real emotional depth. So sometimes I think Libras can definitely keep it light. Again, it's kind of like almost like you've got all this stuff about like friendship, community, other people. It's like you're always, even like the 10 of cups, right? So you really care about, like I said, the highest good of everybody involved. This is the meaning of 10 of cups, right? 3 of cups. You have this feeling of kind of like, I don't want to take priority. I don't want to take more than my share. I want to make sure everybody's fed. You're coming through with all this queen energy. It's like, again, you are the empress as well in the tarot, who's all 4 queens. So Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, Queen of Earth is coming through now. This kind of this energy of kind of like, I want to make sure everybody's fed. I want to make sure everybody's happy. I want to make sure everybody's got their equal share. Quite Aquarius as well there. You know, it's kind of, you're not, everybody's needs are equal. You're not putting your needs above anyone else's, but also you need to learn not to kind of put anyone else's needs above yours as well, which is part of this learning to be the Queen of Swords. Oh my God, Queen of, oh, Libra, you might be about to really have a really good time, because I know you've had a rough time of it recently. You kept going into that kind of like scary kind of evil witch energy. I was like, why are you all Maleficent right now? But I think it was just this like frustration, right, of having a tough time of it. But because you've got this 4 of Swords, it's almost like Libra's healed. Libra's healed themselves. Wow, they waved their own magic wand. They're their own fairy godmother. They rested, they rejuvenated, they had a spa day. Libra's the Empress again. So yeah, if you're feeling, when you get into that kind of confused state, again, it could just be because you've got so much on, you know, just having a good night's sleep is enough, because this is kind of like minor, right? Like a quick fix. So it's like, you know, take some time out, take some me time, go for a walk, get that mental clarity, sit in the dark, right? Meditate in the dark for an hour and see if you come out with this like truth. It really works for me. I don't know why it takes me so long to actually sit down and just think. But like once you do, I am seeing this like new cycle coming in for you, and it looks really good because you've got 10 of Water and 10 of Cups. Happiness shared, enough resources to go around. Everybody's fucking happy there, right? Everybody's needs are met. Sorry about the swear. So yeah, you could also be embracing your Aries energy. The nodes, the North and South node, have kind of gone into Libra and Aries now. So it's coming through as very, very complementary. I remember talking in Aries' reading this thing about, it's almost like Mars and Venus, the great lovers of the zodiac. And you know how Aries, because Aries is quite cut and dry actually, you know, Libra sometimes has a tendency to kind of pussyfoot around because they're like weighing up all the options, trying to make everybody happy. So there can be this kind of oscillating energy where Libra doesn't really want to make a decision because they're still in the weighing up process. But once Libra's made a decision, right, once they've weighed everything up and they've really looked at everything in detail, which takes time, they can be very, very clear, right? It's kind of like almost stubborn in their clarity because they know that's the truth. It's like they've weighed up all the evidence. So this is, it's like facts are facts, right? And you don't always have time to explain all the details to somebody because it's like it took you so long to get there. So it was coming through this complementary relationship with the Emperor energy, which was almost like if Aries as the Emperor, right? So this could be like a boss. Doesn't have to be an Aries, it's just the energy, like Mars energy. It's like if this person's kind of like a go-getter, you know, they're quick, they're responsive, they want quick answers, you know, they want people to be clear around them. If you're in that oscillating phase, it kind of irritates Aries. But when you get the clarity, you can be a very, very good advisor to Aries because it's like you've done the thinking for them. So they can just go, Libra, what's the answer, right? So it's coming through almost like Libra was like the HR person. It's like they knew the law, right? And Aries could go, what's the law on this? And Libra would be like, let me look it up and get back to you. And Aries was like, be quick. And Libra was like, on it. Or Libra would just know the answer, right? So it was this really, really beneficial, mutually, it was like one hand washes the other, this mutually beneficial relationship. I heard long time coming. I've got long time coming. These notes at the moment, the notes I'm reading right now are notes that I made a day or two ago. And I wrote long time coming with the crystal. And I think it was when I saw this crystal card And I was like, that's Libra's card. And it came with the sentence, it's a long time coming. So this clarity's been a long time coming. Again, it could be that somebody's telling you the truth, right? It's like you knew something was off. You knew that you were being kept in the dark, and now somebody's telling you the truth. And it's like, yeah, it's a long time coming. I was wondering when you were going to spit that out. You know, I knew it. I knew it. It's got that kind of feel to it. But like I say, I made that note with Crystal a couple of days ago, and then it is actually here in your reading. My mum's showing up, you're all fucked. It's going to whisper it, fucked. My mum's showing up, you're all fucked. So this was coming through like, it was coming through for me as the Queen of Swords, as a Libra, and then my mum, the Scorpio, like this powerhouse in the spiritual world coming through. It was like, oh, don't mess. It's like, don't mess with my mum. Don't cross a Scorpio, all hell will break loose. It's almost like this tower energy, but the tower's not here. It's like a spiritual tower that's being done. It's like your spirit guides are taking care of it for you. It's like, don't mess with Libra. Oh no, don't mess with Libra. They've got powerful spirit guides. It could also be, this is your kids, right? I know my kids would be like this. It's almost like, you know, something happening in school and they're like, oh, mum's coming in. You're in trouble now, because Libra comes in, like slams the human rights laws on the desk and goes, we know our rights. The Constitution on the human rights of the child says, I've done that at school. So yeah, it's like, oh, you're in trouble now. You're in trouble now. The Queen of Swords is here. So take it as it resonates. Libra and Aries are both cardinal signs. This note says, Libra lets Aries think they're the boss. It's like the Emperor and the Empress, right? Libra lets Aries think they're the boss. It's not in a derogatory way, so if you are Aries, don't get your back up about that. It's like Aries likes to take the lead, and Libra likes to defer and play a supportive role, but with them both being boss signs, right? With them both being cardinal signs, Capricorn and Cancer, I think, are also cardinal signs. It's like Libra might put an idea in Aries's head, and Aries will think it's their idea, right? Or Libra will advise Aries, and Aries will take the credit. And Libra's okay with this. They quite like playing the advisory role, the supportive role, as long as they're being respected, and as long as the relationship is mutually beneficial. They don't need the glory kind of thing. And this could be what the Lighthouse and the Sword is. We'll come back to that in a second. Something could definitely be wrapping up for you, or you could be doing some kind of performance. You have this like music and voice here. Music and voice. So I was getting stuff about like a watch party. So it could be, maybe it's just like karaoke or something, going out with friends, doing some karaoke. It could be that you're doing some kind of like outdoor music performance or something like this. Whatever that is for you, it could be that you've performed something. It could even just be like you've performed your job well, and you've got this take a bow energy. You had that song by Madonna, I've always been in love with you. I guess you've always known. You took my love for granted. Why? Oh, why? The show is over. Say goodbye. I don't know if that's the case. It could be for somebody. It doesn't have to be. But you've also got this completion, door closing, like forgiveness. Could be an old relationship wrapping up. Like I say, you do have professional widow. What else have we got? Yeah, Honesty by The Neighborhood and Beautiful Liar by Beyonce and Shakira. This was coming through in a strange way. Yeah, so somebody could be wearing a mask. You do have many masks in the authentic self. It could be you, because you can sometimes be a people pleaser, right? It's like, I will be whatever you want me to be, which can be sexy, but can also be seen as being two-faced or manipulative. It's not. Like I say all the time, Libra, for you, you're just a multifaceted person, right? So if somebody knows you well, they'll be able to see right through you, right? They'll be able to see every single facet with absolute clarity, because that's who you are. But sometimes people only see people on a surface level. So if in a certain situation you're presenting this facet, which is just one facet of the whole, right? It's not that it's inauthentic, right? You can see right through it. It's not, you're not hiding anything. But if somebody's only looking at you on a surface level, they may see you as inauthentic, because you could go to a different situation and be this facet. So it's really important for you to, I mean, it's just your adaptability. You're like a chameleon sign, like Gemini, right? You're all things. You understand every angle. And just because somebody else can't see every angle of you, it doesn't make you inauthentic. But yeah, honestly, beautiful light. It could be that somebody's been deceptive in a relationship. I had this vision. I was out walking and I had this whole storyline in my head. And it was like a woman sat at a restaurant and she was meant to be meeting this guy. And instead of the guy showing up, his wife showed up. Now, whether the woman knew he was married or not, I don't know. That wasn't kind of in the little vision. But the wife sat down and was like, look, what's good for the, what's that thing? What's good for the thing is good for the, what's good for the gander is good for the goose or something. What's that saying? And the wife was like, my husband's a brilliant man. And I want him to be happy. He's so like King of Wands energy. It was almost like the wife was saying, my husband's this passionate man. He's driven. He's brilliant. He's earns loads of money. He provides for me and my children. I'm very happy with him. But I know that has needs. And so the wife was actually saying, we can be friends. We don't like that. And which is funny because I was getting this and I was thinking, is it for Libra? And then you got that Beyonce and Shakira song. Now in the Beyonce and Shakira song, they're like, he's not worth the drama. We can be friends, right? He's the bad guy. We can be friends and, you know, kick him out of this situation. You know, we don't need to have drama. So that could be one version. If this is, it feels like a side message because it's not actually in your reading. So it could be something that happened in the past or something that's happening around you, right? I'm hearing peripheral. So it could be, you know, somebody who's going through something like this. So for some of you, it's like, I have my boundaries. I'm clear about my relationship and I am not prepared to either cheat with anyone or be cheated on. Like that is not, because Libra is kind of like a soulmate energy. So yeah, but again, it depends on your full chart, like especially like your Venus and Mars placement. Like if you had like Gemini or maybe Pisces or Aries in one of those placements, you know, it can be a little bit more a straying energy. And Pisces, it's unfair to call them a cheater. It's not so much as that, as much as they just love everybody. Right, it's very hard for a Pisces because it's like they're so open-hearted. It's like the space there for everyone. But yeah, and that's kind of what the wife was saying in this vision. So again, this could be a different scenario for a different person, but it was like, I'm his wife, you're his lover. I'm okay with this situation. Are you okay with this situation? You know, we don't have to be friends, but we can be friendly. You know, and it was this kind of like very mature way of saying, hey, we both love him. We've got something really important in common, which was quite cool. It's not my situation as far as I'm aware. We'll see what happens in August. But yeah, I don't know. Just different options to suit different people. And however you feel about that, it's up to you. I did see 32, 32. Now 3 and 2 is 5. So that's 5, 5. 5 and 5 is 10. And 10 talks about completion. You have that completion card. So yeah. Take a bow, Libra. You've done a good job. I don't know what it is. The only last thing before we get into your reading to the cards fully, you had something about unusual beauty habits or unusual health regimes, but they work for you. So for example, it could be, I don't know, dyeing your hair with henna, right? Or, you know, dyeing your hair with henna and cutting your own hair. It's like that might not work for everybody. A lot of women prefer to go to a professional hairdresser, get professional highlights, you know, professional cut. But it's almost like it's something to do with like you being more of a natural beauty, being ruled by Venus, where, you know, you don't need to perhaps try so hard, or you don't need to use anything that's like a harsh chemical. Like you don't need to bleach your hair. You can just do it with plants. It doesn't have to be specifically that. It could also be like, you know, you don't exercise, but you love going to the club and dancing, and that's your exercise. So it's almost like either what you're doing naturally or something that's like a natural or herbal or alternative beauty or health treatment seems to be working for you. And you have this almost like natural beauty thing going on. I mean, I've got an acne outbreak, but yeah, take that if it resonates. It could also be if you've been paying a lot. It's almost something like you know, some of these beauty products on the market, they're like 60 quid for a moisturizer, and you know they're not doing anything that special. Some of them are worth it. Most of them are just overpriced, and you know, maybe are a bit harsh on your skin. So it's almost like, oh, I just use, you know, I just use the one from the supermarket. Everybody's like, you're glowing, what's your secret? And you're like, Nivea. So I don't know, it's something like that. It's like, you're not doing anything special, but you look like you are, Libra. It's like, you're glowing, Libra, this month. You're having a good month. You know, you've just been for a walk and you've got a little bit of a tan, and everybody's like, oh my god, you're glowing, what bronzer do you use? You're like, the sun. And factor 50, if you're like me and Bernie's, like, and want to protect yourself from skin cancer. Okay, so the only last things to say, it's funny, you've got the lighthouse and the sword, and then the sword was right there, right underneath the lighthouse and the sword. Now with the panther as well, the panther is this very scorpionic, like secretive, like move in the shadows energy. Now the reason why the panther moves in the shadows is because they've learned to, right? It's like a protective thing. It's strategic. So very similar to like these two energies together make the panther, and the torch underneath it. There's something about light, right? So it's, again, it's not just because it's in the darkness, just because it's hidden, just because it's in the shadows, it doesn't make it evil or dark or bad. It's actually coming through with all this light, the torch and the lighthouse. Now the lighthouse and the sword, it's something like, the lighthouse to me is almost like, and the torch, right, is like this beacon, right? You're meant to, it's a guidance system. Like the torch, I would say, is something that you go straight towards, or you use to light your path. The lighthouse is more like, you can't, your path isn't lit, but there's this beacon that is lighting your path for you. But you're not supposed to go directly to the light, right? You're not supposed to go straight to the lighthouse, because you just get smashed on the rocks. The lighthouse is there to guide you, to say, hey, there's rocks here, but you're in this area, right? And so the truth that's coming with the lighthouse is that you need to stay in the shadows and be strategic. Just, you keep getting the same messages again and again. It's like, because there's goblins, right? It's like, because the goblins are there. So this guide is guiding you through, past the goblins. I fought my way here to the Goblin City. Labyrinth keeps coming up this week. Oh, there's the tower. But again, I feel like it's almost like you're gonna sail right past the tower, maybe not even be aware of it, because your spirit guides are kind of cloaking you this month. So it could be that you're confusing other people, the world there, that closure again. Or it could be travel. Maybe you are taking a boat ride. Again, somebody else had a lot of boats in their reading. I feel like it was Leo. Right, let's move these out of the way. I'm going to actually ask, so I'm actually going to shuffle 3 times. 1, 2, this is my process, guys, sorry. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to split. 1, 2. This deck likes to kind of like stick itself back together by color. It's I shuffle it, I mix it all up, and it, as I continue to shuffle, it kind of re-separates itself. It's such a weird thing that it does. Okay, so Libra, what I'm going to ask for you is, who is your guardian angel this month? Who is, how is spirit guiding you? Who is guiding you? Now, there's a lot of different deities in these decks. It's angels and goddesses among us. And a deity may come out and you're like, oh my God, that's who I've been praying to. That's amazing. Absolutely take that. If it's a deity you don't recognize or kind of feel comfortable with, just look at the meaning of the card, the energy of the card. What is it? What is that? Like, don't look at the personification, look at the meaning, and see how that applies, and see if that reminds you of anyone. Maybe it looks like somebody you know, especially someone who's in spirit. It could also be somebody that you know in your day-to-day life, and it could be that the universe is working through them. So whatever springs to mind, whatever you think of, kind of roll with that. But again, this is spirit, how they're helping Libra this month. How is spirit helping Libra this month? Who is Libra's spirit guide for August? Oh, you've got a goddess. Oh, look at the grandma energy again. Oh, and Archangel. You've got an Archangel. Archangel Metatron. Spiritual power, sacred geometry, and esoteric wisdom. That is cool for me because I've been getting like spirograph. For me personally, I've been getting a lot of that kind of like sacred geometry stuff coming through. Like the urge to do spirograph is strong, guys. Yeah, it's really cool for me because I'm a Libra. I've got a lot of Libra in my chart for that guy to be hanging around on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so this grandma energy, I love this so much. So absolutely, you've got some kind of maternal spirit guide looking after you. Feels very, very, oh my God, I've got spirit bumps. Whoa, that went like from the ground up my body. That felt like spirit bumps. It's like goosebumps, but it feels really good. You have a very, very, oh my God, it's in the back of my neck now. You have a very strong guide around you. Feels very like, almost like that kind of high priestessy good witch energy in a complimentary way. Again, complimentary. It could be somebody who's really good with like complementary medicine. I always call this grandma's comfort soup. So in The Sims 2, there was this, I think it was Sims 2, this soup. So the computer game, if you don't know what The Sims is, it's a computer game and it's like a life simulator. You play with people. And there was this like recipe that was grandma's comfort soup. And if you got sick or sad, it kind of like made you happy and cheered you up and made you healthy. So it's like maybe this person always would bring you like grandma's comfort soup. I love it. So Mengpo, karma, reincarnation and memories. I'm really drawn to a little jade necklace there as well. I quite fancy getting one of those myself. She's got little like, it's like, I don't know, she's so spiritual with the little like skull earrings. Look at her face. Oh, she's lovely. I'm excited that this is our spirit guide. So I feel really protected. It's really nice. Again, so it doesn't have to be from this particular culture, but if that resonates for you, I mean, we'll read more about Mengpo and the specific information about her at the end of the reading. We'll find out more. But yeah, maybe she reminds you of someone. She's so gorgeous. I really like her. So I just kind of want to just pop her up there in my grandma. Yeah, you hang out there, Mengpo. Oh, the dog there on the bottom. Hi, dog spirit. Be loyal to what you love. 1, 2, 3. Let's split the deck. What is our spirit guide helping us with this month? What is Libra's spirit guide helping them with in August? Got a couple of cards. Set healthy boundaries. For the Queen of Swords, well, I never. Libra, set healthy boundaries. Like, this is like a tale of as old as time. This is like every single Libra reading has something about healthy boundaries. You do bend, right? You do bend, but it's so you don't break. You bend and you bend and you bend for the people that you love and the people that you care about, because but it makes you resilient. Like, it's like bamboo, right? I'm getting patted on the back again. If any of you know, I've got a new, I don't know if it's a new spirit guide, or if it's one of your guides. I don't know what it is, but especially when I'm doing tarot readings, I have been getting this like hand on my back. It feels like a supportive gesture. You know, when somebody's like supporting you and they put their hand on your back. My left upper back. So again, I don't know if it's something for one of you guys or if it is a new spirit guide for me, but it's very, very, very comforting. Yeah, armadillo again. Libra, it's you, right? Tough on the outside, soft on the inside. Armadillos, if you remember those old adverts. Hawk spirit, again, very Libran, right? That higher perspective, a bit swordsy. Let spirit be your guide. Let spirit be your guide. Like, set your boundaries, put your walls up if you need to, and let Mengpo handle it for you. I feel like I've got nothing to worry about, Libra. Like, you and me on vacation for August. We're being looked after. It's going to be fine. Oh, God. Guess what's on the bottom? Panther spirit, reclaim your power. I love it. 44. Oh, again, so scorpionic. Like, oh, an otter spirit, you're never alone as well under that. Like, that is really scorpionic. So again, you may have a Scorpio guide, Pluto guide. I've got a very big old Pluto, like a shadow, if you know Carl Jung in the shadow, or the animus. Yeah, I'd call it my animus. I've got like almost like a plutonic animus. Again, it kind of like is my inner protection, my inner panther, right? So like this energy again, it's like don't mess with that Pluto energy. Don't mess with anyone who's got like Pluto guardians. Okay, so I've got the hand on my back again. I am gonna just pause for a second because it's quite a big reading, and it's probably because I've got a lot of Libra in my chart. I've got quite a few Libra placements. I'm kind of like Libra stellium. So it's probably because I, the reader, have a lot of Libra in my chart that we're getting big readings. But like it's such a relief to get a good reading for Libra because I just feel like we've had such a tough time of it. I'm like, yay, Libra's in a good place. Woo! Back to Empress energy. I'm just gonna get a drink of water and then we'll get into the cards. Hopefully I can do it quite quickly. It is quite straightforward for the whole, so you won't be here too long. But if you want to just pause with me, maybe go and get yourself a cup of tea, cup of coffee, some popcorn. Make yourself comfortable, have a pee break, and I'll be back with you in a moment. So just as I was going getting my water there, I went past my cat. Now, some of you may know the story of my cat. I manifested my cat, and it is like a little mini panther. I love black cats. I don't know. I love black cats. And a few weeks back even, I've not had him that long. I was saying to my spirit guides, like, please send me a cat. If it's in everybody's best interest, please send me a cat. I think it'd really help my son out. My son was going through some stuff with school and getting quite emotional. And I was like, it'd be really cool to have like an emotional support animal for him, something that he can look after and like, you know, bring out that nicer side because he's very empathetic with animals. And I was like, and I really want a cat. I miss having a cat. So I was saying to my guides, like, look, no demands here. And again, going back to the original thing at the top of your notes. So I don't know if it's the first thing I said, but it's the first thing on your list of notes. The highest good of everybody involved. And this is how I manifest. And you have actually got magic and manifestation. And then the gratitude immediately after that. And so I said to my guys, like, if it's in everybody's best interests, please will you bring me a cat? And it was literally a couple of days later, and my cousin had posted about this black cat who had been abandoned, and nobody was adopting him. She works at a vet's, and she was like, will anyone take this cat? And I was like, me. I want the black cat. And it's the black cat, right? It's like my favorite. And so with all this panther energy, it's almost like spirit sent. It has that feeling. I'm like, spirit sent this cat as a spirit guide for me. Like there's something with this cat, like underneath that, like you're never alone. It's like spirit's got your back. Like, and it was in his interest too, right? It wasn't just in my interest, my son's interest. It was in the cat's interest. The cat needed a home. It had been abandoned. We wanted a cat. It was kind of like, yeah, this works. Spirit can do this for you. And then again, me being very, very thankful for that. Okay, so Libra. I feel like I need a nap right now after that long introduction. But your first card is motivation. When spring approaches, I'm tired looking at it. When spring approaches, the flower fairies urge you to spring into action. If there's something you've merely been thinking about doing, they say get busy and do it. Now, Libra, we can be a procrastinator energy. The label lazy can be attributed to Libras. I say it's because they're showing me, oh my God, they're showing me, when I was about 14, I had one of those little leaflets that used to come with like girly magazines. It's kind of like sometimes they come with like a little bonus magazine. And it was this really detailed booklet by a very knowledgeable astrologer with all these cute little diagrams of like what a Libra masculine would look like and what each star sign's masculine would look like, what each star sign's feminine would look like. We didn't really do the whole non-binary thing back in like maybe it was like the 90s. Like obviously it was a thing, but it wasn't mainstream as much as it is now. So yeah, it was like Libra guys, Libra girls, and kind of what they look like. And the guy was so, I mean, he looked like Kurt Cobain. I remember the little picture of him, and it was kind of like philosophical, very chill, very laid back. You know, probably did study philosophy. And I'm laughing, I did classics. Yeah, and I always say about Libras, it's not so much that Libras are lazy, it's just that they're expending a lot of mental energy. And when you're very in your head, right, when you've got a lot going on, when you think too much, um, it can make you, and you're in your head, it can make you not very good at showing up practically. So for example, Virgos or earth signs are very good at kind of like showing up on a physical level. You know, the doers. Air signs are thinkers, and they're still spending the energy. It's just that you can't see it, right? You can't see thoughts. So there could be something as well about that, because this again is followed by motivation. Sorry, it's followed by crown games, right? So motivation, and then this head. It's almost like something about resting your hands on your head, like it's all in the head, thoughts. So you've been thinking about it, and you've also got deep dive, diving into a task. So it's almost like you've took the deep dive mentally. So now it's time to take the deep dive physically in reality, right? It's time to put pen to paper and kind of get those thoughts out. So if it was kind of like you've got a novel in your mind, it's kind of like write the novel, make it real, right? Something like that. It's almost like magician energy. So you know how the magician turns dreams into reality because he's got the tools to do it. It's something like that. Crown games, the right use of power. So the way this was coming through, let me just kind of get these three cards again. The way these cards were coming through, it was talking to me about because this right use of power sometimes comes through very heavy and political, and it wasn't really coming through that way for you. It was coming through as your focus, your attention. Now if you're like me, you might have a fire sign Mars placement. I've got Sagittarius Mars, and it's kind of like all or nothing. It's kind of like I'm either focused or completely disinterested. So you could have something similar going on where you're kind of a bit, or maybe something like Virgo Mars as well. Virgo Mars can be, they can spread their energy in too many places and kind of leave everything half finished sometimes. It's like they overcommit, right? They overcommit, and then it's like, oh, I've only got so much time. I've got all these things I want to do, but I've only got so much time, so I need to kind of like focus. So it's kind of like what you've been thinking about doing, make the time to do it, right? So the right use of power is kind of like your energy, is the way I'm seeing it. Like use your energy efficiently. Maybe you're going energy efficient. Maybe you're changing your light bulbs. You had all that stuff about light, right? So how do you use your light more efficiently? What's that? Oh, I've got it. They gave it me. As I was trying to think of it, it just came in. You know that phrase, work smarter, not harder? It's like that, Libra. Work smarter, not harder. Now I've been learning video editing, and I've got really into it. I kind of feel a bit of a natural at it. I'm still a novice, right? So the things that I'm producing are still kind of like novice level, but it's because I'm learning the tools. But I do think I'm learning it very, very quickly now that I've got kind of like a professional video editor. Thank you to the person who recommended that, if you do happen to watch. It's kind of like I'm hyper focused on it. It's like my new exciting thing, because like I say, Mars Sagittarius is like squirrel, oh shiny. So it's like my new shiny, and I'm just investing like so, it's like the deep dive, right? It's like figuring out what this button does, and then, oh, how do I add this transition? And kind of like, I'm really kind of like into it. So again, it's kind of like if you've been wanting to do something, and this is the thing about as well about me, so it doesn't have to be this specific example, but I'm explaining how it's coming through for me, so you can kind of think, oh yeah, I'm going through something, but it's this thing for me, but it's kind of similar. So for me, it's kind of like I've been wanting to, I mean, the amount of times I've tried to find a good free video editing software, I'm using DaVinci. If anyone's looking for one, DaVinci Resolve, really good. And Daniel Battelle as well, really good tutorials on how to do it. Daniel Battelle on YouTube. So again, sharing information there. But yeah, I've tried loads of different programs. None of them work for me, and some of them exported the quality really badly. Some would put like watermarks all over your stuff, and some of them were just clunky and awkward to use. And then this one is like, I don't know, I'm waffling. My point is, it's something that I've wanted to do for the longest time, like learn how to use this professional editing software, you know, figure out how to use it, and improve my skills in content creation. And then like now it's kind of like, now I'm doing it. It could be learning to drive, right? I've kind of been on and off with learning to drive, making quite a lot of progress, but then like life is happening and it's kind of like, oh, I can't drive this day. It's, I'm busy, you know, but it's kind of like, make the time to get right stuck into doing what you want to do. So if you kind of like need to move things around on your calendar, if you kind of need to maybe draw some boundaries with like one thing or another, I don't know, to make the time to do it. But you've got something about work and play, or work and no play makes Libra a dull boy, because you have like finding balance here. Because the next thing that comes through is this kind of like this community energy that is all over your reading, and it starts to come in now. So you've got come together, right? With this like group. So specifically, it could be you and 3 friends, or because there's these 3 fairies, right? Because this is followed by like the 3 of water. So like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then there's like these fairies here as well with friendship, right? So there's all this like the power of 3 energy almost. Something was coming through. I don't know if it was a line from, I didn't get it. It kind of came and went too fast for me to pull it in, and then it didn't kind of come in. But it was something, no. No, I've got it. I was thinking it was from Charmed, or what's that other thing about 3 witches? I don't know, but I think it's from a Lana Del Rey song. The power of us 3 can do absolutely anything, I think is the line. Except, I'm just trying to pull it in, sorry guys. The power of us 3 can do absolutely anything except bring the wind and the rain. I think it's Blue Banisters. I'm going to just double check. I'm going to look it up. Hang on, guys. Yeah, it is. It's Blue Banisters by, oh, I'm getting the head to toe goosebumps again, the spirit bumps. The power of us 3 can bring absolutely anything except that one thing, the diamonds, the rust and the rain, the thing that washes away the pain. Oh, it's coming in with emotion. Okay. I'm scared of the Santa Rita fires. I wish that it would rain. So Blue Banisters is a song about a guy who promised to come and help paint a house. And he doesn't show up. So every year, all her sisters or friends, like girlfriends, fly to her house and they help her paint her house. So it's like, you know, the guy didn't show up, so but her support group is there for her. It doesn't have to be girls, right? So that's a really nice song. And again, you've got like this circle. It could be maybe you are a little bit witchy, right? The circle, kind of like all hands on deck, the hands around the table, the round table energy. It's kind of like everybody around the table putting their hands on the table, being like showing up. Especially because it's next to, in the underlying, the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, which both have a community feel. It's like there's other people involved in those 2 cards. So the next card in the row, the next card that came out, which is like the 4th card, was Flourish. The Lotus Flower Fairy tells you to learn from experience and shed your inner light on any unclear areas of your life or those of others, which again is that message again, right? Your internal light, your internal knowledge on any unclear areas. So your inner light will shine light on the darkness if there's anything that's not clear. Again, there could be a misunderstanding because Leo had this thing about facilitating a meeting so that people could talk things through after there'd been a misunderstanding that had got somebody quite angry, and there was a Queen of Swords involved. So again, maybe go and check out Leo's reading if that makes any sense to you. But whatever's going on for you, Libra, you've got this come together, repairing the veil, forgiveness. Now this could be forgiving yourself, right? Forgiving kind of an internal tear, like something that hurt you, like something that broke your heart, like forgiving yourself, forgiving others, releasing yourself from that. Not for them, but for you, because it doesn't do you any good to kind of sit in resentment. It's actually just hurting you if you do that. But then come together, and this idea of like the tying the 2 worlds together, like drawing the veil together. Fairies like to be busy, and a group of them is showing you that many hands make light work. Working as a team helps get the job done. Interesting, I just got that Blue Banister song, right? And then this almost looks like people with the hands in the paint. So it could be your friends are helping you to paint your house. It could be something like that, right? Many hands make light work. You then start with the balancing act. Dances on one foot. It could be dancing. I don't know. It's kind of something about the, because can you see the shape of this mermaid and then the shape of this? There is a woman here. Can you see her face here? Here's a leg. So it's like, here's a face, here's her arms, here's a body. There's this kind of like this dance that's happening. So I feel like it's the dance of life for you. It could be that you're literally a dancer, but it's almost like this juggling, this balancing act, almost Two of Pentacles. But you're very, very good at this, Libra. And it could be that you're juggling emotions, with it being cups. It could also be that you're juggling loyalties to friends, relationships. And when I say juggling, it doesn't mean that you're cheating on anyone or anything like that. It's more that you're juggling your responsibilities, the things that you have to do, so like work, with your hobbies and your interests, but also making time for the people who are important for you. This is what I mean by juggling, right? So it's almost like you need to see your mum, you want to go out with your friends, you need to spend some time with your kids. So it's like, right, Monday's this person's day, Tuesday's this person's day, Friday's that person's day. Do you see what I mean by juggling? It's not that you're kind of like prioritizing one over another. It's not that you're being deceptive. It's that you've got so much space in your heart and so much time to give. And so you need to kind of be very good with those boundaries, which, remember, this is what Spirit's helping you with. No, not that card, the other one. But very good with your boundaries, right? As the Queen of Swords, to say, I can give you this much time and I can give you this much time on this day. I will make space for you, but I have other things that I need to do. I'm very busy at the moment. So again, this is where you come in with the many masks, the authentic self. I think this is something people need to accept about you, that you are multifaceted, that you are changeable, that you are that you have different needs, right? You're not one person to please one person. You're somebody who has a lot of roles to play. Again, not being deceptive. Again, it's almost like the crystal ray. It's almost transparent, you see. It's kind of like the different facets of you, but it's not that you're being a trickster. There's no trickster energy here. It's just that you care about people. Perhaps you care about people in your community, you care about your friends, you care about your family, the people you really care about, and not just the people, right, the things. You're really trying to create this, this is like everything you could possibly want or need, emotionally and on a practical level, and there's other people involved, right? So you're not being selfish here, you're factoring everybody into the equation, which is difficult. Again, it's almost like you're doing quantum mechanics, like what's the word, quantum equations mentally every time you have to kind of like reorganize your diary to fit everybody in, but you are capable of doing this. Again, I feel like you're bringing people together as well. So you're coming together with friends and family, you're bringing people together, maybe even matchmaking, because with this friendship card that comes next, you have stranger and curiosity. So again, it could be that you're the stranger and you're curious about a new friendship group, a new group that you want to join, right? You want to get to know more about them. It's interesting, there's this little bird, right? And she's kind of got her hand out, she's kind of like trying to get him to approach. So it's kind of like the bird is the stranger in a way. So it could be that you've been quite isolated. You've been, again, with the right use of power and this deep dive, it's like you dove really deeply into a task, some kind of job or hobby or skill or class, something practical perhaps that you took a deep dive into, and it kind of was all your focus. It could be that, you've come back up for air and you're like, wow, I really need a night out with my friends. I've not seen them for ages. I've been so busy with work. It could almost be that it's time for an emotional deep dive. So the task is to be more sociable, to bring those friendships closer, to tie them back to you, right? To tighten the bonds of friendship. Like just this, like tighten the bonds of friendship. Not getting kinky right now. I just saw like bondage, like handcuffs kind of thing. Fairies and humans alike need I think it's because it's Venus energy, right? Sometimes it gets kinky. Fairies and humans alike need friends. Now is the time to seek out those who will support and encourage you on your journey to fulfill your dreams. And this is the thing about friends. If you've got something that's a dream, right, that you're trying to manifest, and you're putting a lot of your power into it, a lot of your time and energy into something, because you're trying to manifest a certain life for yourself, a certain career. It's almost like you're chasing some kind of star, right? And doesn't have to be success that other people understand as success, right? Your road to success, your idea of being successful doesn't have to be the same as anyone else's. But true friends, right? People who truly love you, so this could be friends, family, people who are compatible with you, they're showing me the Two of Cups, will support you. So even if you have to say, look, I'm not going to have as much time at the moment, I'm going to have to say no to a few events, you know, I will make time for you, but I have to really focus all my power on this task that I'm doing a deep dive into. They should support you, because it says they encourage you, they support and encourage you on your journey to fulfill your dreams. Okay, so yeah, again, it could be that there's a stranger joining your social group who's going to be very supportive, something like this. But with the Destiny card, you've got all this stuff about, like, I don't know, this, you're doing something, Libra, and it feels like you're ready to fulfill your destiny. It's like you're in your power, you're ready to apply it, and I don't know, it's like change your future, because you do have new beginnings, or accept your destiny. It's like kind of like doing something that you always knew you were going to do. With stranger and curiosity, it's like somebody could be curious about your destiny together, because it's like friendship and all this coming together energy. They could be wanting to join you on your journey, or you could be curious about your own destiny, something like that. It's like this focus as well. It's like, so just something about these two cards together. Can you see it's like the eye looking through this kind of long gap is almost like, it's almost like if the light was coming through this kind of split in time, it's kind of like this is what's being looked at. Can you see this light on his face? Kind of like if you shone a light through this portal, this opening, it would cast that shape on him. So it's almost like this is looking, it's like his face is what this person's looking at, right? And it does look like the sun, right? It's like do you remember that film in Kim Basinger, and like, is it Dan Aykroyd, and it had like the snake in a handbag with an eye on it? My Stepmother is an Alien, I think it was. I loved that film. I watched it so many times. That scene, the bedroom scene where she comes in, it's like, oh, she's got all the wind blowing. She's so hot. Like Libras. It's got completely distracted. You know, like at the end, like the little like thing in a handbag is suddenly like this big eye in the sky. It's like, ah, it's almost like that, but not bad. I want to say it's kind of like, it's almost like, say you were Kim Basinger and your spirit guide, right, is like you're carrying it around in your handbag, and it's got like, because it's got like this telescope, right? So it's like this is your spirit guide up in space, and they're like really hyper focused on you. They're like looking at you through a telescope. It's like the eye is on you, the eye in the sky is on you, and like it's curious about you, perhaps, right? You're the stranger in the group. It's like curious about you. It's like you're carrying it around with you in your handbag, and it's like, oh, don't talk to that guy. Just don't know why he's giving me that vibe. What is that? Okay, let's move swiftly on. It's like the dragon. I don't know, this dragon energy. It's like, who's that? Kind of background check. Spirit's doing a background check on new people. Anyway, find balance. Find the balance between your work, rest, and playtime, right? All work and no play makes Libra a dull person. And you will have more energy, harmony, and productivity in your life. Take a power nap. And then with intentionality as well. So again, it's that going back to that same thing about being hyper focused. So again, motivation over here, just the similarity of these ones, right? Just to kind of show you, it's like we've gone back to the same place. So motivation, right use of power, diving deep into a task. Again, very similar, right? It's like diving deep is like intentionality. It's like hyper focus, and then finding balance. And this thing about your energy is like your power, your motivation. So again, just remember to keep your life in balance. I feel like there's going to be things that it's almost like Ace of Wands energy. It's coming in with, oh, this thing is new and exciting and I want to put all my energy into it. But again, with the intelligence and the focus of being like, I'm making time and space for this. I'm making time and space for this. I'm making time and space for this. So it feels like you're almost working with blocks of time. So with find balance, it's not like you're trying to multitask and do 3 things at once. It's not like you're going, talking to the kids, typing away, writing your book, answering a phone call, because then you'd be spreading your focus too thin. This seems to be more like a block of time, like this hour is for this task, this hour is for spending time with family, that evening is for going out with my friends, this day is like while the kids are in school, I'm going to like hyper focus on this task. And with this balance that you seem to be finding between work, rest and play, right? Like it's like blocks of time, slots of time. It's like if you could divide up the day, right? 24 is divisible by 3. So it's like, hang on, can she do the maths? Is it 8 hours? 8 add 8 is 16, add 8 is 24. Guys, I used to teach kids. I was bad at maths. Some of the kids in the class, and it was like junior school, so like, what age? Like 10-year-olds? They were better at maths than me. Like, they'd have the answer before I did. I was like, well done, big brain. Some of them were like, I don't get it. And I'll be like, me neither. Let me figure it out. And then I'll be able to explain it to you like in a way that you'll understand. Because I don't understand it this way either. So when I figure it out, I'll let you know how to do it. Which was quite good because it was teaching kids that there was like, it's okay to not know how to do it. And it's okay to figure it out in your own way. And do you know what I mean? Like there's different routes to the same answer. And don't give up. You'll figure it out. So sometimes bad teachers are good teachers. Anyway. Like slots of time. So you're like, okay, I've divided the day up into 24 hours. That gives me 8 slots for work, 8 slots for play, 8 slots for rest, right? Well, rest is sleeping. Okay, that's okay. I've got 16 hours left to play with. Like what's work, what's play. So yeah, you seem to be very, and like look here, 33. So yeah, something about the power of 3, right? You've got 3 of water, these 3 fairies, 33, 3 tasks to balance. Yeah, 3 seem to be a thing. Okay, you're also getting this owl again with the high priestess, again with that Athena energy, and I do associate Athena as almost being like cusp of Libra, Scorpio. I'm not sure what sign she actually gets attributed to, but because she comes in with all this kind of like justice, legalities, logic. Yeah, I think I always think of her as like a Libran sign. And so this owl then, this it's like the high priestess is like it's like the high priestess is watching, right, with this owl. It's like, oh, I can get the answers I need. Don't think I've only got one way of getting the answers I need. I can see, right? I can see in many different ways. So yeah, this is about some kind of knowledge. This is almost like the Ace of Swords coming in for you at this point in the reading. At this point as well, Moonlight flew off the table in reverse. So it's like you're not confused anymore. There's no more secrets, right? It's like you have the wisdom, you have the knowledge. You know, Libra. You might not be telling people, High Priestess energy. She knows, she doesn't say. But if anyone thinks that you don't know, let them keep thinking that, because that gives you an advantage, doesn't it? If other people don't know what you know, then you have the upper hand, Libra. But then purity, again, it's not deceptive, right? And here's that light shining again, like the lantern, the torch, the unicorn energy. I love unicorn energy because it says to me 2 things. One is believe in the impossible. If you thought something couldn't happen, then yeah, it's kind of like the impossible becoming possible when I see a unicorn. It's like, it's almost like pigs might fly. It might be really, really rare. Or blue moon energy. It's like, it's so improbable. People think it's impossible, but there it is. So I once had somebody, I was explaining this to somebody as a metaphor in a reading years ago when I first started doing readings, and someone came into my comments and were like, but unicorns aren't real, dumbass. And I was like, every time you say you don't believe, you don't get your fucking wishes, dumbass. Yeah, it's something that it can't be true, right? But somehow it is, because you're manifesting it, because you believe that it can be true. So it's like, don't give up on your dreams, if I explain it in a way that hopefully everybody can understand. It also talks to me about purity of self, like the purity of your soul. And I do see you as a very, very pure soul, Libra. I see your soul as being a diamond. Diamonds mean Libra to me. I think they mean Aries. I think they're attributed to Aries. But for me, in my metaphor and language that I use with my guides, diamond energy is often Libra because of the clarity. So it's like... unicorn purity is something like not naivety. Naivety is when you don't know. Naivety is when you're sweet and innocent and childlike and the world hasn't hurt you yet. And that person can be corrupted, right? When they go into the darkness, that they can be corrupted and become impure. Purity, and the difference between purity and naivety for me is purity is something you either refine or you maintain, even though you're surrounded by darkness. Again, this idea of being kept in the dark. So it's almost like your pure soul, right? You keep your soul pure despite the world being mean to you, despite people keeping you in the dark, despite not having all the answers. Somehow, against all odds, again, with it being very rare, you've managed to keep this pure part of your soul like crystalline, crystal clear. Again, you've got crystal, right? It's like this energy. This is you. Okay, transparency, really understanding the self as well. There's no murky waters when it comes to yourself, right? The situation might be murky. If you sit down and speak to your own soul, you have clarity about who you are, which is gorgeous. And again, this intentionality, it feels like, again, your intentions are good, right? Hang on, I'm getting a song. Give me a second, let me see if I can put it in. Okay, something really weird just happened. I was pulling in a song and it's completely gone from my brain. And I ended up noting down Blue Banisters because I did remember that. And there was a song, somehow in my notes, I managed to miss National Anthem. It's literally, it was 69 as well. It's literally the first thing that I actually did write down for you. National Anthem, Lana. You can tell by the writing. I kind of go up and down with my notes. I don't kind of make them in a logical order. 69 could be a number for you. It's 69 is a number that first got my attention when I started kind of having an awakening. It was everywhere, and it's because I've got a dorky sense of humor. But yeah, 69 it is symbolic of balance. It kind of looks like the yin yang sign, right? So that's why I think it's coming through for you. But I was making a note of Blue Banisters, and there was something in that song that was meaningful to me specifically that I'm not going to explain. But like associating it kind of like with that kind of like maternal energy. And I was hearing another Lana Del Rey song. So you've got National Anthem by Lana Del Rey, which was the original thing that I pulled in for you. Then you've got Blue Banisters, right, which came through in the reading. And as I was making a note of Blue Banisters, I was hearing, don't say you're happy when you're sad, you know I hate that, which is another Lana Del Rey song. And I think it's beautiful because I was trying to pull it in, and I think it's I can turn blue into something beautiful. Now, Blue Banisters, right? Blue, like the idea of blue, like sadness. And then I also pulled in the song, I can turn blue into something beautiful, right? Again, the idea of like we're painting our blue banisters. It's like we're painting the roses red. It's kind of like not the same analogy, but like we're painting the blue banisters green, right? Because the guy was supposed to paint them blue. My friends are painting them green, right? It's like we've turned it into something that is about friendship and love and support, you know, something long-term and long-lasting. So it's like the changing, I don't know if it's about changing colour, but maybe changing the meaning of something, right? Changing the meaning of the colour blue into something beautiful when perhaps before it meant something about sadness and loss. So it's kind of almost like a glass, you know, a change in perspective, glass half empty, glass half full. I can't remember the song that I was going to pull in, but if it comes back, I'll make a note of it. It's really frustrating when that happens. I'm sorry, but they switched track on me. So new beginnings, right? Purity of your heart, look inside within you, find the answer to your question. And then new beginnings. So if you're having a new beginning and you're not quite sure, yet which direction to take. I think if you spend some time assessing kind of in hermit mode, I think it will become clear. And look how happy she looks, right? This little Tinkerbell energy. And so then again, you go into magic and manifestation. So this row here, magic and manifestation, owl and gratitude, it's kind of like this is the way it is in the spread. I'm just bringing it over because it's such a big spread, it's not all on camera. So it's like the wisdom that you have is about intentionality and purity. So the knowledge that you have about magic and manifestation is that if you do it with pure intentions, then that's how you do it. That's how you manifest, right? That's how you do the magic, through wishing for the greatest good, through wishing for everyone in the situation to be happy and have the best outcome. That's when spirit works with you. So you've got the trick, right? This is the knowledge, the pure intentions is the knowledge. Again, Cancer has something really similar. Maybe it's something about cardinal signs of magic and manifestation, right? How you can work with spirit for the greatest good of all. And then gratitude. And again, it's like this grandmother hand, right? It's like the child and the grandmother with the mother in the background. So it's like having an attitude of gratitude, right? Being thankful when your dreams do manifest is also an important step. And there's something, I always think she looks jealous, right? She's like, she doesn't understand. She's like, why do they have this bond? Why are they connecting? Like, why is the magic working for them? It's like she feels left out from that. I always think, this woman in the background. So then again, assessing and protecting your dreams. So here she has that light, right? The light from inside her soul, the thing that's a pure part of herself, and she's wishing and dreaming from a really pure place. It's like a Disney princess, like a Cinderella, right? You know, I just want my little mice friends to be happy, you know? And so then assessing, how do I make these dreams come true? You are the guardian of your precious dreams, that they are safe in your care. Keep them close to your heart until you're ready to release them. Again, something about the eye of the needle, right? The focus, the hyper focus on the purity. When I'm meditating, I focus on a pure brilliant white light. It's almost like, I was saying to someone else's reading, it's like if you get a brilliant cut diamond and you rotate it under a light, it has this glimmer of light. Oh, it's the beep beep truck. Sorry guys, I'm not even doing this on Thursday. We've got the beep beep truck. Hold on, I'm gonna pause. Hello, I'm back. It's an hour 21 minutes and 21 seconds on the timestamp, like when I pause. So 1 2 1 2 1, a bit step forward, step back, step forward, step back kind of energy. Make me think of that Paula Abdul song. 2 steps forward, I take 2 steps back. Like, love that cat. Sad that cat's not real. Okay, so protecting your dreams, keeping them close to your chest. And then again, around this kind of like grandmother, gratitude, protect your dreams energy, you then have all this stuff about like going outside, reconnecting with the earth, but also stuff about kind of like music and voice. Maybe it's just like listening to nature sounds. It could be something like that. Let me kind of like show you this bunch. Also at the top here with gratitude, again, you've got this idea of like balancing act. So you've got what? Find balance, balancing act, find balance, balancing act. Like from 3 different decks, from 3 different creators. I'll kind of show you the 3 different decks. So if you want to kind of like visually find those, you can do. But yeah, 3 different creators, 3 different decks, 3 different artists, and you've got all this balancing, which is so funny in a Libra reading. So again, like go outside, home, earth. So again, very, very, very similar, right? These, like, so funny that of all those decks, these 2 cards should come out together. It's time to go outside, tune into the powerful peace of nature, wherever you are, and feel at one with your habitat. So yeah, I don't know, get outside, touch grass. It could just be, even if you live in like an apartment block in the city, it could just be like, go on kind of, I listen to TM soft, kind of like meditation sounds. So TM soft. And like if you go and look on Spotify, like they've got a massive library of like hours and hours worth of meditation sounds. So it's like rain on a window, or beach sounds, or forest with birds. So there's all these different things to pick from. So just find some nature sounds that kind of work for you, because again, it's followed by music. Listen carefully for there may be a message in the music you hear. Music can lift your soul, rekindle memories, and charm fairies to your door. It's funny, we've got all that Lana Del Rey, and I love Lana Del Rey, again, one of my favorite artists. But your reading seems to have a lot of it. And it's funny that I was talking about that Cancerian energy. I think she's Cancer Leo cusp, but again, that's storytelling through music, storytelling through singing. You know, the ability that she has to connect with people so deeply through her art is so amazing to me. And again, you've got all that kind of, you know, honorary Queen of Cups with the Venus energy. I think you need to get back in touch with your feelings, especially if you have gone through like a difficult breakup. You know, you've got your girlfriends around supporting you. It feels so Cancerian. I almost feel like I'm doing a Cancerian reading, because this is something that they come up with quite often. This idea of kind of like get your circle of friends around you, you know, reconnect socially, and then they kind of exhaust themselves. It's kind of like they have a very similar thing of kind of like, now it's time to party. Oh no, I've overdone it. I'm going to be a recluse for a while. You're seeing to be like, party time. Wait, no. Work time. Wait, no. Spend time with family. Wait, no. Sleep. You seem kind of like on a similar roller coaster there. I don't know. Maybe you've got big Cancerian placements. I've got Cancerian North Node. So, but yeah, music can lift your soul, rekindle memories, and charm fairies to your door. And then like speaking your word, voice. So it's like maybe like expressing yourself through music. Maybe some of you are musicians or singers. I kind of almost feel like maybe it's like almost like a karaoke thing, but like at an outdoor event. So again, I was talking about kind of Stonehenge, right? At some point, where's that card gone? Don't even know where I saw that. I swear you had a card. There it is. Like this kind of like Stonehenge kind of energy. It could be something like Glastonbury, an outdoor event. It doesn't have to be as big as Glastonbury. It could be like a small local music festival, and it doesn't have to be a henge. It could be some local landmark that has some kind of, it could be very old and ancient. Maybe it is a stone landmark of some kind for you, and it carries this kind of you know, almost like ley line energy. So maybe it like is a very spiritual place. A lot of people go there. Maybe there's some kind of like music festival going on in this kind of like spiritual place. Just around, funnily enough, underneath that is retreat, right? So it could be like a vacation, a retreat, and you go to a music festival. But again, it's kind of got all this outside earthy nature magic vibe to it at the end of the reading. So you may know about this. You may have an event planned. It may be something that, you know, it's kind of spontaneous. You know, you go on vacation. Oh, hey, what's going on over there? Or it's some kind of music festival. Hey, it's free, or the tickets are cheap. Like, let's go and check this out. Let's go and browse the stalls. Let's go and listen to the music. And maybe like you do like a little impromptu performance. You're like, hey, I can play guitar a little bit, like getting a little traveling band. I don't know what you're up to, Libra, but I think you're going to be happy doing it. And here you go. Here's that belief in the magic. Again, you here at this point is like, oh wait, I've figured it out. I now realize how I manifest. So I specifically asked for a cat if it was in the greatest good of all, right? I had an intention. I would like a cat, and it was a pure intention for the greatest good of all. Now I recognize that this worked, and I'm thankful for it, right? So this little circle of magic and manifestation and gratitude and intentionality, it's like, this is kind of, you know, when people draw those circles, it's kind of like almost like a circle of life kind of thing. It's like like, what is it? Pure intention, magic manifestation, gratitude, wisdom. It's like a circle that you can keep repeating. So then the reading ends with, again, it's very, very druidy. Druidy, that didn't come out very well. Open your eyes and see the magic that's all around in nature. The fairy of the northern lights says you are a part of nature, so you are magical too. If nature's magic, so are you, Libra. It's like, I don't know, it's very like earth magic. I really love it. I really like this reading, and it's made me smile because I'm like, thank goodness, because I'm a Libra, and some of the Libra's readings have been rough. I've been like, oh no, can I have a break, please? And then this seems very, again, all that balance. 3 cards about balance. It feels like you're getting clarity. It feels like you've, you know, you're very focused with your intentions. It's like you've got faith again. If you lost faith, it's like you've got your faith back, which is pretty spectacular. And then I just love that this is the guide. Again, I was talking about the original guide that I kind of like saw on the bottom of the deck. I was like, that's my mum. That's my mum. And obviously mum is grandma to my kids. And then like this lady as well showing up. She's just just giving grandma vibes, and I really, really like her. You know, like favorite grandma, like that kind of vibe. Okay, so let's have a look at Meng Po. I'm sorry if I do pronounce anything wrong, if it's not a name that I'm familiar with. Feel free to kind of like let me know. Don't correct me in like a nasty way, like you're so stupid, how dare you. I mean, I'm not telling you, you know, I don't have any control over you. If you want to be horrible in the comments, that's your prerogative, but don't expect me to take you seriously. But if you go ahead and sort of say, oh hey, just to let you know that's how you pronounce it, then you know I'll be open to that. That's the thing as well, like sometimes people are like so shouty and aggressive and like eager to be all holier than thou and correct people, like especially on the internet. It's like, how dare you say that? I'm so much better than you because I know how to pronounce that name. And it's like coming at me with an attitude like that, like what do you expect? What do you want from me? I'm not going to be like all open and hey, thank you for I'm going to be like, I'm not listening to you, you're a scary person on the internet. So, I don't know, it's something about like think about how you approach, like think about how you I feel like there could be people around you, Libra, who are maybe just being a bit catty. You know, you could have people around you who are a bit... It's like they see you having a good time and they're not having a good time, so they're salty about it. And you're very much like, hey, no, like water off a duck's back. You're kind of like, I'm not going to... It's like with all that thing about like right use of power, focus, intention, it's almost like I'm not wasting my time on you. Like you know what, your guides can solve your problems, me and my guides are off to this music festival, so see you later. Like, you know, I'm not... It's almost like, you know that meme where it's like pew pew, like hitting stuff away. It's like bad vibe, pow, criticism, pow. I just feel like you're gonna be just in a really good mood, right? It's like nothing's going to bring me down. Huh. Very much like that. Okay, I'm going to try and do this reading because it's an hour and a half already. Meng Po, the Chinese goddess of forgetfulness. Oh, me! Oh, and I forgot stuff in this reading, right? What are you doing, Meng Po? Maybe she's just making me forget things that aren't worth... Memories that aren't worth retaining. I don't know. Meng Po, the Chinese goddess of forgetfulness, serves soup, or the 5-flavored tea of forgetfulness, to recently passed over souls on the Nai He Bridge, the Bridge of Forgetfulness. That's similar to Greek and Roman culture, like after you cross the river Styx and you kind of like get into like, I think it's like the fields of asphodel kind of area. They have this, it's the River Leaf. And the newly dead kind of pass through the river Leaf, and like all the woes and the burdens and the heartache of the previous life are washed off them, and it's like they forget their previous life, and it's almost like they're born again, like they're babies, they're new again, so that they can be reborn without all that woe, right, without all that hardship kind of carrying through. This brew wipes the memory of the soul, so it does not take the suffering and painful memories yet of the last life with them into their next incarnation. The soup, however, does not wipe the soul's karma. The souls must continue to reincarnate until all their karma is balanced. I think you might have cracked it, Libra. You've got 3 cards about balance. I think you might be like, oh, hey, that karma check... clear, I can cross that one off. It's almost like you know, like because it's like balance, maybe it's something to do with finances as well, like getting your finances in check, like balancing the checkbook. Do you know, like if you were in credit, if you were in credit, you're now in debit, it's like you're back to 0, right? I feel like you are like having a karma cleanse. It's like you've dealt with it, especially with Pluto going retrograde again. Pluto, it does go retrograde quite often. It's a very, very slow moving planet. And it does, Saturn as well. It could be something with Saturn because Saturn's the planet of karma. Capricorn, Pluto's retrograding in Capricorn at the moment. So there could be a lot of stuff about karma. And really going through, it's like going through the grinder, but then learning the lessons and like achieve. It's almost like the 12 labors of Hercules, right? It's like you're doing the 12 labors of Hercules. So it could be that you've done this cycle, right? You've done this like plutonic or like Saturn grind. You know, people talk about your Saturn return. Maybe you're having a Saturn return, but it's like Saturn's returned and Saturn's like, yep, Libra's done all the hard work. Libra's done the shadow work, karma clear. Okay, let's see what Libra does with this next. So that's good news. Thanks. I like it. The soup, however, does not wipe the soul's karma. Souls must continue to reincarnate until all their karma is balanced. Again, you've got 3 cards about balance, which I think is a very good sign. But this process becomes easier if the souls are not weighed down by the pain and suffering of the past. You can still access your past lives through regressions, but much of the time it's not the details of the past that are important, but how you live in the here and now. I'm getting the supportive hand on my back again. Meng Po can help you to release any suffering you are carrying from your past or past lives so that you can live freely in this life. She can help you to get on with your divine mission without being weighed down by the past. Remember who you are and the truth of your spirit. Leave your suffering behind you and focus on the present moment and the steps ahead. I mean, I'm ready. I don't know about you guys. I am ready. I'm like, yes, bring the fun. I'm not doing the Cancerian thing of like wallowing in past pities anymore. Like, I just want to, I'm ready for a fresh slate here. Okay. Armadillo. Set healthy boundaries. Learning to set healthy boundaries. So this is your spirit guide for August. This is what they're helping you with. Learning to set healthy boundaries is the gift of the armadillo spirit. You are entering a phase where in order for you to be in alignment with your intentions and co-create your best life, you may have to be discerning and say no to many things that may have been okay for you in the past. Yeah, that thing about the past. Like the past is raising its ugly head and you're like, chop! Not this time. Not this time, bad karma. Not today, bad karma. This also means that you need to learn where you end and others begin, Libra, for what is yours to own and what is not. Know your limits. That's really funny because someone was kind of talking about getting some drinks. And I've got like the acne and stuff. I'm like, no, I can't drink at the moment. I need to kind of cleanse. I need to cleanse my liver, cleanse my soul so I can cleanse my acne. And as I was sort of saying, no, like we shouldn't be drinking, I walked past a 20-mile-an-hour sign outside of school and it said, limits save lives. So I took a screenshot and sent it them. I was like, see, the universe is like sending literal signs. Okay, sorry, I keep getting distracted. Know your limits and understand that it's an empowering choice to say no to what doesn't feel right. Armadillo Spirit is here to tell you it's time to be honest with yourself about what you really want. Be clear what you really, really want, Spice Girls. Be clear on what you are agreeing to. Declare what your needs are. It's kind of like let people know about whether the back passage is on limits or off limits, right? You need to have that discussion. And say no as a full sentence. These are acts of respect and kindness to others as well as yourself. Trust your body's signals and you will know what to do. Armadillo Spirit guides you in making good decisions that are grounded in a strong sense of what belongs to you and what does not. Okay, let's go to Hawk Spirit. Again, Hawk is big about big picture thinking, like the overview energy. And it says that let spirit be your guide. And you've got this brilliant spirit here. Flying high above the landscape, the hawk sees both the big picture and the small details. There you go, Libra. You see it all, right? You've got that clear knowing, that clear sight. Observes the rain and the pond as well as the cloud and doesn't miss anything. When Hawk Spirit arrives, you are called to pay close attention to messages from spirit that can appear anywhere in any form. And you have this thing about listen to music, pay attention to nature signs. Listen to your intuition and keep your eyes open for synchronicities, the meaningful coincidences. Hawk Spirit asks you not to dismiss the signs that spirit is sending to guide you. Know your limits. Lately, you've been hearing the same word or song or coming across the same symbol here, there, and in the strangest places. Maybe you hear a song on the radio. You've got this thing about music, right? It's definitely something about music and songs. It's because it's saying it here as well. And like I said, you've got like 3 Lana Del Rey songs. or coming across the same symbol there and in the strangest places. Perhaps you hear a song on the radio with just the right lyrics pertaining to your query. That always happens to me. I can ask a question and randomize a song, and Spotify will give me the answer. So I was getting ready to play to make video content on an expansion pack for that Sims game that I was talking about, and it was about horses. And so I got up in the morning and I went, first song of the day, and I was like, right, Spotify, randomized me a song to prepare me for what this task I've got to do. Randomized. And again, it was about horses, and the song was Giddy Up by Salt and Pepper. And I didn't say it out loud, so Spotify either read my brain or there's some kind of spirit guide talking to me through music. It's like, how did you know? Giddy up, baby. It happens all the time. Or you begin to notice uncanny billboards, license plates, or other places where repetitive numbers or words show up for you to notice. Pay attention to the animals that appear for you and connect. Like I say, you've got the panther twice. I was talking about my black cat. Connect with their symbolism. Spirit wants to communicate and reaches out again and again. When hawk spirit appears, it's a sign to listen. Right, trust your intuition. Here's a big speech now, Libra. Trust your intuition. When you see a sign, trust what your instinctive response is to it. Don't sit there and go, I mean, you can do if you want a bit of extra guidance, but don't take it as fact. So sometimes it's like, oh, I keep seeing blackbirds. What do blackbirds mean? And you can look it up, right? You can look up like dream interpretations of blackbirds. You can look up meanings and symbolism of blackbirds from like, I don't know, Native American culture or like whatever it is. But if you're looking it up, that's only what that means to another person or a group of people. Your spirit guides, Libra, are going to communicate with you in a way that you will understand, right? And sometimes it takes a little bit of trial and error, a little bit of practice, but your spirit guides know you very, very, very well. And so it could be say for example, dogs. Someone could be like, you could look up dream interpretation of a dog, and it'll be like loyalty, yeah, best friend, where you might have had a really traumatic experience with a dog. A dog may have bit you in your childhood. You may hate dogs. And so dogs are something scary to you, right? So spirit's showing you a dog and it's your spirit guide. They're not saying loyalty. They're saying scary thing, right? They're saying, hey, have your wits about you. There's something scary on your path. So you know what certain signs and symbolism mean to you through your own life experience, through your own knowledge of these things. So please don't sit there, taking someone else's fact as your own fact. Their spirit guides and your spirit guides are not the same, right? Your spirit guides know you on a personal level. So your intuition about those signs and symbolism, don't second guess them. Don't overinterpret them. Trust the feelings, right? So it's like if you see a feather, maybe it's a peacock feather, it makes you feel something, it makes you think of a certain person, whatever pops into your mind, whatever you feel, that's spirit talking to you, right? Not some random person who's wrote an online guide, right? You don't know them, they don't know you, their spirit guides are busy with them. Make your own dream interpretation book, right? Make your own love language with your spirit guides, right? And don't worry about what other people think. Really important, really, really important, especially like I say this as well about tarot. If you're dabbling with like tarot cards, certain cards have certain meanings. So I'm just gonna pick one at random, right? So the Emperor. Hello. Hi friend. So I was talking about the Aries energy. So the Emperor traditionally means somebody at the helm, right? So it could be a father figure, it could be a boss, it could be a CEO. Typically it's Aries or Taurus. So there's all these fixed meanings of the cards, and there is value in learning those. But when you start to work with a deck, you're going to start to create your own language. This specific Emperor in this specific deck is my Scorpio Emperor. And when I see him in my own readings, he's talking about my animus, my shadow, my dragon, who's protective, right? He's like this energy for me. So he's not even Aries, Taurus, he's Pluto, Scorpio for me. He's not even Scorpio, he's Pluto. So again, this specific image of this specific emperor has a specific meaning to me, that perhaps an emperor from another deck is going to have a different meaning. Let me show you, for example, the emperor in this deck, because this is the other tarot deck that I've got handy. So again, it happens with time, and the meaning of the cards can change, but don't second guess it. Trust yourself. It's like a little voice that's kind of like whispering to you, like, this is what this means. Like, if you have an intuitive response, right? And then you go into the meaning of this card is, I can't even find him. Where is he? Oh my God, he's not here. Where's the Emperor? Where's the Emperor in this deck? What's going on? Why is the Emperor not here? Okay, I'm showing you on camera, like, where's the Emperor? There he is. Okay, was he next to the devil? Of course he was. Pluto. or Saturn, right? Capricorn. So this Emperor, so again, the Emperor is normally Aries, Taurus. This Emperor for me means Pluto Emperor. This is my Leo Emperor. And this Emperor can talk about kind of like particularly leadership, charismatic leadership, but he's kind of wearing a mask as well. So it's almost like the emperor that people need you to be. He's also very heavily armored, so he's kind of there's something about him that's vulnerable on the inside that he's guarding. So again, different meanings on different cards. So like I say, you could be robotic and just read like AI. Have you ever seen how robotic AI is? It's like they're reading from a script. They're meant to be getting more human, but they're just kind of like, it's like they're reading from a Reddit page. You know, it's very formulaic. So again, like you can know the formulaic meanings of the tarot, but when you start to work with the cards a lot, each card is going to have a different feeling. It's almost like each card has an aura, right? And you're going to feel something. You're going to have a response when you see that card. So I'm going to leave it there. Do take care of yourselves. I hope this reading was helpful. I do need to randomize you a song. And then and then I need to I'm going to get him a cup of coffee. I need more water because my voice is going. So like I say, Beautiful Liar was the last song that I actually played. Beyonce's Virgo, Shakira's I think Aquarius. I think it's like 2nd or 3rd of February, Shakira. So again, that could be, maybe this is your two friends. You're friends with a Virgo and a Aquarius. Okay, Libra, something meaningful for Libra, something intuitive for Libra. Libra will know what this means. It's an advert with a dog. It's funny, I was like talking about a dog. It's a little black and white dog. I can't really show you the advert too well, but it looks like it's like a little sheepdog. You know, like when I first showed you that card before we shuffled, it was a sheepdog. Maybe sheepdogs mean something. They do to me. Again, sheepdogs specifically. My uncle had 2 sheepdogs, so when I get sheepdogs, it's my uncle. Also, one of the dogs was really protective over me. She thought she was my mum, and so my mum, like my literal mum, and like my family members would come and try and like give me a kiss, and she'd growl at them. She was very, very like, she was like a proper guard dog over me. She was like, no, this is my baby. I'm the one that gives this baby kisses. Who are you? What do you want with her? It's so funny. Okay, I'm gonna let this advert skip. I did see the song. I think it was RX. It's funny, I was talking about Pluto Rex, right? Pluto RX, by Charlotte Lawrence. But I'm just giving you a sec. Okay, a couple more things. So I ended up with like 4 adverts. I was thinking to myself, especially when I'm going to show you my phone camera because it's so reflective, I kind of feel like I need to apologize. If you catch my reflection, I've got some really bad acne on my chin at the moment. It is clearing now, but it still doesn't look very pleasant. I'm healing, but it doesn't look great. And it's almost like, I think because I've got Libra in Venus placement, and Venus is like the goddess of love and beauty. So it's like Venus. I almost feel the need to apologize for not being beautiful. I'm like, I have to apologize for being ugly. Like, I think it's my Venus placement. I'm sorry I'm so ugly today, guys. And as I was thinking this, I got an advert for Haagen-Dazs, and it said the masterpiece of masterpieces, and it made me think of, and the woman was like sculpting a sculpture out of ice cream, and it made me think of one of my favorite stories from classics, and one of my favorite kind of sets of paintings by actually 3 different artists. But it's the story of Pygmalion and how he created his perfect woman out of stone, and then he prayed to Aphrodite. He was like, bring this woman to me, and Aphrodite was like, I love a good love story, I'll make her real for you. And he like brought her to life, and she's like this beautiful, like his perfect woman. I don't know if the Pygmalion story means anything to anyone. It's kind of like there's a lot of parodies of it through popular culture. It's like a film trope now, sort of like My Fair Lady or Clueless. You know, they all kind of parody it, like the creation of the perfect woman. Yeah, I don't know if that means anything to anyone. So the song is RX by Charlotte Lawrence. It's interesting because it sounds like it's saying our ex, like yours and my ex. So again, you and someone else could share an ex. Maybe this person was cheating on both of you, right? It's like they were two-timing you, and you're like, well, he's our ex now, you know, something like that. I'm gonna pull up the lyrics. Also, again, it could be something like, again, like I say, it's your response to it, right? RX by Charlotte Lawrence. Maybe it's something about the name. Maybe you know someone called Charlotte. Maybe you know someone called Lawrence. Maybe there's something about RX that means something to you. Maybe you're getting an RX-8, a Mazda. I don't know. But again, it's your response to it. Well, let me just go ahead and get this song up. Charlotte Lawrence. Great singer. Leo, I think. I keep on thinking she's a Cancer. I think she's Leo, but Cancer cursed, from what I remember. It came up in a reading the other day, actually. Someone else got Charlotte Lawrence. Who was it, actually? Let me find out, because this might be the answer. This might be like the girl that you're teaming up with. Or I don't know. Like, it doesn't have to be a girl. Sin and Secret. Leo got Sin and Secret. Okay. So maybe somebody's cheating on you with a Leo. I don't want to kind of put that thought in anyone's head. Again, I don't feel like it's the main story because it's not the main part of the reading. It could be something for somebody. Charlotte Lawrence. I'm taking me a long time to do this. I'm sorry, guys. RX. I taste your love dissolve under my tongue. You calm an anxious day like no one does. This ain't a solution, it's only a fix, baby, I know. Wake up tomorrow and we'll feel like SHIT, but baby, let's go. I've been locked up so long, these bars feel like home. We only want our exes when we get depressive. I'm getting self-destructive. It's getting pretty bad. We only want our exes when our lives are messes. My friends, again, that friendship group, right? Painting your banisters green. My friends say it's excessive and I should put you back. This heavy-weighted love. What did that card say? It said, don't look back at the past. Free yourself of past karma, right? Get off the merry-go-round. Maybe I'll save you for a day when we're really effing sad. You write the script for the voices in my head. You're the only one I let take me to bed. Yeah, and then it repeats. So take what you will out of that. Again, it's something from your guides to you. It's personal, so don't worry about my interpretation. You can be like, it's wrong. And yes, it's wrong because your interpretation is right for you, right? My interpretation is right for me. It's okay. We're all good here. Let's get you one more card as kind of like the Princess. Gorgeous. And the Dagger in reverse. Interesting. So the Princess, again, is she is a light. She's symbolic of the hope for the future in my deck, against my deck Venus. There she is. That's the ruling planet of Libra. Goddess of love, beauty, arts, sexuality. And the Princess is she carries that unicorn energy, right? She carries that feeling of like hope, purity, inspiration, light. She's that lighthouse in the dark. She's the torch in the dark energy. And this, I want to say, is referring to you. The dagger in reverse, I mean, you can think of like cloak and dagger, right? It's hidden. It also kind of, his sword kind of looks a bit hidden, doesn't it? So while the Queen of Swords has integrity, and again, the Queen of Swords represents you in the tarot, you know, she has a large sword that is a symbol of her knowledge and status and authority and her power and her integrity, and it's visible. You know, this is not something that's easily hidden. A dagger is a concealed weapon, so it talks about a hidden truth, and it's a hidden truth that can be used to harm, and it can talk about like a precision instrument. So again, the dagger's coming through to me in your reading almost like I'm hearing weapon of choice. I think that's like a Fatboy Slim song. It's almost like you have your truth, right? It's almost like a concealed version of your sword. So I'm not picking up anything negative with you. It's almost like, if anything, a truth is coming out in the open, or you're getting clarity, right? A hidden truth is becoming clear. But again, I do feel like you're being somewhat strategic about what you know. It's like, not everybody doesn't need to know your business, right? Everybody doesn't need to know what you know. Some of the things that you know can be kept to yourself until the time's right. And so that's where that strategy comes in. But again, that kind of beacon of hope and love, and it's almost like a combination of like Virgo energy, but with Venus energy. It's almost this, it's like a blossoming, right? It's like a beautiful blossoming energy. So yeah, it's looking really good for you, Libra. So chin up, Chuck. Let your ex go. Let's get Pluto out of Capricorn and into Aquarius for good, or at least for a long time, and see where life is taking us next. Because I think we're done with whatever those Plutonic lessons we've been learning as Pluto's been in and out of Capricorn recently. Again, you don't have to be Capricorn. I'm saying Capricorn, but if you look at your houses, right? So your birth chart's going to have 12 houses. Find out which of those 12 houses Pluto's been in for the past like several years, and you're going to have been going through the grind with whatever house that rules. So it could be a house that rules work, it could be a house that rules family, all these different things that all the 12 houses rule, and it's going to be personal to you. It's not going to be the same for everybody. So whatever, Pluto always teaches tough lessons. It's always on the go, right? It's always making parts of our life die off. It's this I always say it's like this festering energy. It's this death energy, but it's to promote renewal. So it takes away so that new can grow. So again, whatever house it's in, you're going to be going through this death throes period, especially as it's like the last dying embers of Pluto being in that part of your chart, and then it'll kind of move into the next house, and it's like, oh, okay, lessons learned. We're finally done with that. We've been a bit back into, finally out of that situation for good. Shut the door on it. Okay, what's next, right? And there's going to be new things that you have to cleanse and rid yourself of, but it's going to be in a different house. It's going to, at least it's going to be something new. It's a new challenge. But again, you feel like you've done something with, like, I want, look up Saturn in your birth chart. Maybe get a chart reading done specifically on Saturn, because I don't know if you've had some kind of like Saturn return. This is going a bit too deep for me. With when we start getting into houses, I get confused, so I'm not the person to ask about this. But yeah, it feels like maybe like Saturn's done a full rotation. I think it takes something like 30 years for Saturn to get around your full chart. And like I say, Saturn is the planet of karma. So it's like, as it goes through each house, you've got to like deal with the karma in that each house. So if you do it effectively, if you do the hard work, especially in terms of shadow work, and it gets back right to where it started, that 30-year cycle of cleansing karma, oh god, you don't want to have to repeat it. So, you know, it's going to be like smooth sailing from now on. Could still be like a hiccup every now and again if it hits a house where, you know, you didn't quite cleanse all karma, you're going to hit it again. But hopefully, because you've already tackled it once in your life, you're going to kind of see it coming. You're going to know what it is. You'll deal with it the second time around. But yeah, like I say, you see, you've got these 3 cards about balance. So it's like, you know, the balance is clean. It's like you're on Saturn's good side is the way it feels. And that's a powerful place to be. It's a prosperous place to be, because Saturn rewards people who do the work. And it rewards them big time. Again, go and check out like Capricorn energy. Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. Like hard work, but it pays off. Okay, I hope this was helpful to you, Libras. Lovely, lovely Libras. It feels like you're doing something really good. Again, just be clear about what you want. Tell your truth to others. Set those boundaries. Spirit's helping you. Forget the past. Go out and have a good time. Get your friends around you. They'll help you out if you ask them, especially if you've shown up for them a lot of times in the past. You're not a burden. Take care. Keep that attitude of gratitude and you'll be fine. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye, friends.